Welcome back to the Circle Eavesdroppers. We knew you'd be listening. We're your Queen Bees. I'm Kim.
And I'm Beverly.
And you're listening to Without a Clique podcast. If you're new here, we would love for you to grab a permanent seat in our circle. They fill quickly. Also, if you enjoy our content and would like to support us, then you can join our inner circle over on Patreon, where you can luxuriously enjoy ad-free episodes and exclusive bonus content. If not, that's okay. You can always show your support by subscribing to our YouTube channel and following us on TikTok. So, on last Monday's episode, we talked about the maiden archetype. And on the episode before that, we introduced to you what an archetype was. And if you're new here and you're a little confused, that's okay. You can always pause this and go from the beginning and then catch up. We'll wait for you, but not too long. On today's episode, we're going to talk about the mother archetype, and Twinity is going to lead us in this.
I am. So, when we think of the mother archetype, most of us are probably going to be familiar with it just because we all have moms or we have mother figures in our lives. But when we see this archetype represented in mythology or in stories, usually she represents an authority over all the feminine energy. She's going to represent sympathy, and she's going to be wise and sometimes even have spiritual elevation.
This is true. She does. And as you would expect, like, this archetype has been since time immemorial, right? Before context was even created for what a mother actually is. She was represented in stories and the origin myths of goddesses. So unlike the lover archetype that kind of inspires a woman to procreate, and we'll get into that later down the line when we talk about the lover archetype, the mother is actually driven by like the actual ideal of motherhood.
Yeah, motherhood is idealistic for her. So she really romanticizes and fantasizes about like nurturing other people and being responsible and also being protective while taking care of herself and others and people that she loves. It's like, you know, those girls who are, they're just like, you know, I just want to be a stay-at-home mom. I just want to take my kids here and go to Pilates. Like, those are the type of people who, like, that is their ideal life. That is what they fantasize about. And that's what the mother archetype is driven by. And like we mentioned in our intro to archetype episode, a mother can be childless, like the mama friend group, and still display these qualities. This is one of the reasons why the mother archetype would be considered to be the strongest of them all, because they often give up on their own needs and put everyone else's above themselves. She's going to give everything she possibly can. I mean, you think about just the things that moms do on a day-to-day basis. Most women are working, so that means most moms are working. So she's getting up early in the morning, she's going to the gym, she's getting her kids up, getting them dressed, cooking breakfast, dropping them off at school, picking them up, going and picking them back up. Like, she's got so much going on every single day. She has so many responsibilities, and they're so vast and evolving. And it's a shame, but it's also not really surprising that we often take her for granted and we expect her sacrifice, even though she's already sacrificed so much.
That is so true. And in doing all of those things, like, she's doing it for someone else, you know? Like, where is the sense of like need for herself? And you know what I think about, or actually who I think about when I think about this archetype?
Who?
Black women.
Oh no, I actually see that. No, that's really insightful. I can totally see that.
Yeah, if you just like really think about what a Black woman is and who we are, just like for a moment, especially as it correlates to this country, like, we truly are the backbone to so many different causes, and a lot of them have absolutely nothing to do with us, but we're still in the forefront of it, you know? We take on that embodiment of the social pressures of motherhood in business and home, in our relationships and friendships, in our careers. Like, we're constantly producing for other people, just like you mentioned, all women across the board do, all moms do, like this archetype. And it just is never enough.
No. And I feel like society projects this particular archetype so hard on Black women that it's like embedded, at least here in the USA. Even in like our history, there's like the whole mammy stereotype that we have, that I feel like really relates to just how much this archetype is expected out of Black women across the board. Good insight, twin.
Thank you.
And just like every archetype, the mother evolves with the time. So we think about what motherhood was like in the 20s or the 30s, or even like in the prehistoric.
Yeah.
Like what motherhood was for cave women, because they certainly were not rolling up in their BMWs, Lululemons, dropping their kids off. So it evolves with time, and our interpretation of her is changing as we change as a society. Well, I guess that's all. Party's over. Y'all got to go home, but you got to get the hello out of here. So
out of here.
Thank you, eavesdroppers, for joining us today. If you like this episode and like to listen to this episode along with all of our episodes ad-free, along with early access and exclusive bonus content, you can head on over to Patreon. But if you're totally not into that, then you can scoot on over to TikTok, give us a follow and support us over there, or roll over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That is the 411 on the Archetypes, and we are signing out.